Everybody loves vining plants, but vining plants always look better when they can climb a pole like they do in the wild. Just like that, the leaves get bigger and the plant gets healthier. Let me show you a quick trick on how to make your own homemade plant poles, plant climbing poles, with a few things you can just get online or Tractor Supply or at the hardware store. Featuring this great sphagnum moss I got. It's long fiber, which means it's perfect for what I need, and I'll show you why. Get some of this plastic kind of grid. Some people use it for chicken cages, and this is a cheap tomato stake that I got from dollar store for $1. Let me show you how to do it. Now you can take careful measurements if you want, or you can just kind of wing it. I usually just kind of wing it. And I take my pole, try to get an idea of how wide it needs to be. And the lucky part is because you're using these grids, these nets, that you don't have to cut any lines. You just figure out how many squares you get. I think I'm going to do a skinny one and just cut it straight. Right across the grid. Another thing you're going to want is a package of these really small zip ties. You don't want them really long. You want them to be very discreet and short. They don't need to be long, and I'll show you why in a moment. Now, the first part of this process is to take your sphagnum moss, and I don't know if you can see this. You want to squeeze it out so that it's not soaking. And then you're going to want to lay it out in a strip down your plastic, I guess, chicken netting. And you use as much as you want or need. When you have, big tall plants with a lot of aerial roots and the plants require a lot of water, one, sphagnum works better than other materials, and two, you're going to want to provide a pretty good layer of moss for them because they're going to want to dig in their roots tall. And the more sphagnum you use, the more moisture it will hold, and the less you'll have to water the pole. Now you can set these up to be self-wicking, but I have found just watering the pole works quicker than a wicking system. I've tried several self-wicking ones, and they really don't. Alright, now you add it to your chicken netting, your plastic chicken netting. Do not use wire, everybody will get cut up. You want a nice fat layer on the bottom. And then you take your tomato stake, or you can also use PVC pipe. I will tell you, my experience is that PVC pipe will be more durable than a wooden tomato stake. But since these were already available and already cut to a very good length, and they were only $1, I picked them up. And then we'll put a layer on top. And you get so much sphagnum with this package, with this little inexpensive, light, tiny package, that you don't even have to be cheap. You add all the sphagnum moss you want, all you need to get the job done. Your plant will appreciate it in the long run. And then, and please excuse my arthritis, take your little bitty zip ties and you zip it up at the top. You zip it up at the bottom. Then you do it in the middle. And then you decide, depending on how long you make your pole and how tight you make your pole, then you decide how many you need to put in between these to hold this together. So I'm going to do one. I'm just going to keep doing them at the halfway mark until I'm happy with the results. Most of my plants are outdoors, so if they do a little shedding, it's no big deal. you would do them as tight as you can. And there you go. Got your own homemade moss bowl. And I'll tell you what, I got so much sphagnum out of this that I can make with one roll of this plastic grid. Oh, and you can trim, yeah, you definitely want to trim these off. It just looks better. But always, you know, put the pretty side to the front. And you can train your plants up this. And it's really cheap, it's super easy, and there's absolutely no reason to spend money on a moss bowl. Ever.